Hello and welcome to episode 7 of the Overcope podcast. I am your host, co-host, Motor. I'm an Overwatch content creator and streamer, and I am joined, as always, with Coach Mick and B.
Hello, I'm here again.
So we actually kind of timed. Well, we didn't time this perfectly, but it just so happens it's fallen on record day that there's been announcements for season 9. I'm really excited, so no waffling today. No waffle.
No waffle. Okay,
No
just
waffle
straight
before we
into
go
it.
into it. Yeah, straight into it. Straight into it. Um,
Straight into the action.
so the big thing that I want to talk about is obviously the new rank isn't the bigger thing. I was going to say the new rank. Um, what I'd like to talk about is the full rank reset. Um, now I don't know what your opinions on it are. Like, I'm actually really not sure how you're going to feel about this. I feel like you're going to be pro rank reset, and you're not going to think it's that bad of a thing. Um, but me personally, I really don't like the fact that they're setting everybody back to unranked. I assume though that it's not just like a free for all where top 500s are going to be playing bronze players. It's going to be like still some level of like grouping where they're going to put like low masters and high diamonds together, and like they'll do it within 5 divisions of each other. Is what I'd hope anyway. But
It's
like,
probably going to be a rank knockdown rather than a rank full reset. And if it is a rank full reset, the thing is they've done that before, right? Where they've been like, oh, we're going to do a rank reset. But what they then did is like they didn't reset the MMR, so people just did their like 10 placement games because this was way back. This was when you had to do 10. They
no,
did their 10 placement games and it was straight back into like
yeah, where they
GM.
were.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, so you didn't actually do anything. The thing is like, for a rank reset to be successful, you have to fully reset everyone's SR and rank. And I do think that's a good idea.
I
And I do
just
think it should be something that happens maybe every once half a year. But yeah.
see the issue that I have with it is I don't like the idea of if they like, because in that world, do they like just completely forget MMR? So like me, I'm in like masters, so me, a master slash diamond player, would I get grouped in? Like, is there a possibility that I could have bronze players and top 500 players, like former top 500 players and former bronze players, like all in my team with me? Or
Yeah.
does that.
Yes. But the thing is like, the system would very rapidly remove the good people from the bad people, because that's what
Yeah.
MMR is. It's you outperforming a lobby and winning, and then the game goes, okay, well, you won this game, and we're going to increase your rank a little bit. Keep your stats in mind and be like, okay, well, that wasn't really good stats. Perhaps we next win need to give you more than what we've given you in SR. So that's what MMR is. It's supposed to be helping your personal rank adjustment to go more aggressively towards where you're supposed to be. So, like, a win streak as well is an indicator of increasing MMR. One of the best things you can have happen for your MMR is being on a win streak, because if you keep winning, the game will be like, okay, that's not coincidence, that's skill, right? So we
Yeah.
gotta increase your SR quicker so that it doesn't take you, because if you could only go up and down by, let's say, 10R SR, no matter what, it would take eons for you to get to GM. If you were actually a GM, you'd have to play so many games. So that's what the whole point of MMR is, right? So
Yeah.
resetting MMR, like, people is going to be like, it's going to be bad for a week and it's going to be bad for a month. It's like, no, it's probably bad for like a couple of days, because
Yeah.
a few games in, the games already kind of have the statistics whether or not you're playing like a DPS GM or a DPS plat. Like, it's not that deep really. It goes pretty quickly. So
Yeah.
yeah, the very first day you'd be playing with maybe some bronzes, maybe some GMs, but it would sort itself out incredibly quickly, like way quicker than people realize.
Yeah. I see. I'm not a fan. Like, I don't
No,
think I don't
see,
think we need a hard rank reset. I get why you
we
say
do.
it,
We
but
do need it. We do need it. We need it desperately because people are camping their ranks. There are people that haven't played the game for like half a year that come back into Diamond Masters GM lobbies, and they do not deserve to be there. And do you know what happens?
they
Exact thing
they
you're
throw.
afraid of is happening in reverse. The
Yeah,
exact thing you're afraid of that you dislike about it is already happening. You just don't see it. That one person who like has like 20 deaths per like 15 in your like Masters 2 lobby. That's someone who's been like GM from way back in like season 1 or season 2, haven't played the game, comes back, is not familiar with the new meta, is rusty as can be, and then now they're just they're like ruining your game. And sometimes
yeah,
it's on the enemy team, sometimes it's on your team, and it's not it doesn't impact. This is one thing I wanna make very clear. If you play the game enough, it doesn't determine your rank. You're not in elo hell. What it does is that it makes you have to play more games because the game quality is bad, right?
yeah,
That's what it does. And I'd rather have every half a year a hard reset so that we sort out the people that shouldn't be where they are. It doesn't just camp rank, right?
yeah,
And the thing is, and the thing is, I understand some people will be like, but it's going to be so difficult. It was so hard for me to get to diamond, and it's like it's the philosophy that you are grinding to diamond, as in you're collecting some sort of like gemstone in an RPG, and when you have enough of these gemstones, then you happen to be diamond. That's not how it works. Your rank is completely defined by your skill. So if your skill doesn't decrease, you should go back to that rank within a reasonable amount of time. Unless the quality of the games are bad. So it is such
arguably.
a self-fulfilling prophecy. It is such a self-fulfilling prophecy to think that we are avoiding the issues by not having SR resets and
I,
MMR resets.
I'd have said arguably as well because I don't actually know how it works. Like, because there's a certain amount of SR in the game. Like, this is the way that I've always thought about it because it has to work this way. Because like, I win SR, you lose SR. When I win, you like I gain what you lose. I assume that's how it works. So like, or
No,
that's how,
that
no.
no, because that's fairly well documented. By like in Overwatch 1, for example, the amount of SR that you would get, like let's say you were six stacking, yeah? The
Yeah,
amount of SR every person would get would be different if you won, and the amount you'd lose would be different if you lost as well.
yeah,
And it has been well documented that on the enemy team it is also some coefficient about like what is your MMR saying, and did you lose and did you win?
yeah,
Because if you have a bad MMR and you're in a game of some sort of average MMR, right?
yeah,
And you happen to win, but it was like a game that the game sort of expected you to win that game. Then you will gain SR, but it won't be very much. Now, if you have a high MMR and you're put into a very easy game and you like don't win it, you're going to lose a lot of MMR, if that
yeah,
makes sense. MSR. So the thing is like the rank is what you're at. The MMR is how harsh do we adjust your rank based on like either a negative or a positive MMR. So like if you have a really positive MMR, then wins will make it adjust very rapidly. And losses will not make it decrease as rapidly, but it will then decrease your MMR because it's like, okay, well, now maybe the MMR boost has done what it needs to, and we're evening out a little bit here. So maybe
yeah,
we don't need to increase the MMR quite a lot. And the same thing can go like if you lose, and I think anyone who's ever done D ranking, uh, which I've done in a group in Overwatch 1. So you take a group of 6 people and you D rank essentially. Um, Questionable practice. It's a whole other topic. But everyone will tell you it's like it's actually really difficult to lose a lot of SR in the beginning. Like the first many games, like the first like 5 losses, you lose like nothing. And then like when you reach that 10 loss streak, right? That's when it starts plummeting. Like you start like dropping hard per loss, right?
Yeah.
And that's MMR, doing its thing. Like in the beginning, we assume that it's not, that much of a thing. Now we're on a loss streak, and in these games, you often do nothing but AFK, so you have no stats either. And the game goes like, okay, well, clearly that's not implicative of someone who's like a diamond, and then you start dropping.
So I don't. You may have misunderstood my point because I don't feel like my question is answered though. What I meant was like, so say now the 5 people.
I do understand it, but it's not how it works. It's not a 1-to-1 ratio. It's
So-
not like if
So it's not like there's a set amount of SR in the entire game. So it's like,
no.
Yeah, okay, so
No.
you do understand. Okay.
I always understood it, and I did answer it as well.
Yeah.
Because how can it be completely personally adjusted? Like that's not possible.
Okay.
Because
Okay,
then
yeah.
you would get punished by someone having a high MMR because then they gain a lot, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not how it works. It's not how it works.
Okay, yeah. All right, I get that now. I honestly can't. Yeah, sorry. Going to the other thing that I was going to say was, surely if we were to say now, you say there's the issue of there's loads of people who are camping rank right now, and people are scared because of the hard MMR reset. They'll lose their rank and they won't be able to get it back because they've been trying so long, and it like, especially when you're in like the low end of like a good rank, like once you get out the metal ranks, once you hit diamond, it's like I don't want to lose this because like this is really special. Like I'm not a plat player anymore. I'm like a diamond. That's the special rank, the first special rank, I'd say.
That depends entirely on who you are. For
Yeah,
some people,
that's
the
true.
special rank is gold. There are no special ranks. The next rank is just the next step up the ladder. The ladder? The ladder. The ladder. Oh my. No, it's just the next step up the ladder, right? So it's always just a matter of you always want to chase the next thing. This is the thing. I've talked with so many students about this. It's like if they have this mentality like if only I can reach gold, then I won't be a silver. I'm looking up to the gold because sometimes I have a gold in my game and I'm like, I wish that was me. Then you hit gold, and it feels satisfying for a astonishingly little time. This is what I always tell people. It's like you reach that new high, and it's like, how long are you excited about being diamond? And there's like maybe a week, and you're like, okay, well, this is just what it is now.
Mick, my excitement lasted. For anybody who doesn't know, I hit Masters 2. My excitement lasted for all but like 2 games. I hit not even that actually. I think I hit Masters 2 and I was like GM. Like that's all I thought. I was like,
Yeah, exactly right.
is coming.
There's always the next thing. So I'll always tell people that it's like it's never about the end journey. It's the end goal. It's about the journey, and it's about enjoying what you do. Like, do you enjoy playing the game for like 3 hours a day? If that's what you do, then there's an angle, right, for you to be a high player.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, essentially, yeah, like you said diamond was like, I just wanted to really quickly debunk that.
Well, yeah, I mean, for me, it was like the really special one because it was like I was plat for ages, and everybody makes that joke. It's like the metal ranks. You're like, you don't want to be a metal rank. Well, I never wanted to be. Anyway, once you're in a rank for so long and then you reach the next one, like especially, it's always like you said, it doesn't have to be diamond, like Masters 5, GM 5, Diamond 5, Plat 5, Gold 5, whatever. You're really excited and you're scared because the MMR reset means that you might actually get taken down.
Yeah, if you're not up to speed, if you're not actually good enough, then. But the thing is the only people that need to fear this change is people that don't play the game and don't practice themselves regularly, right? If you're a regular comp enjoyer and you play comp and you try to, and this is what comp is, by the way, comp is not something you do once a week and then you're just where you're at. Like, and if it is, then you aren't in the demographic that we should care about. Like, sorry, you're not relevant. You're not using the system, so we don't care about you. Um,
Yeah.
sorry, tough facts. It's just it's what it should be. And the thing is, like, people that play like you just hit M2, right? It's
Yeah.
like, okay, but the thing is, like, you're climbing back to Masters relatively easy. Is it going to be like then like maybe Masters like 3 or Masters 4? Maybe, but who cares? That's a question of like 100, 200 SR. Like, who cares?
Me.
Who actually cares? I mean, I know you do, but you shouldn't. It doesn't matter because the
Yeah.
only thing that matters, SR is a representation of your skill. Your skill isn't a representation of your SR. That means that your skill creates your SR. Your skill comes first. And how good you are is a way better representation of how good you are compared to what that number says. Because there is also, this is a thing that a lot of people don't talk about, there is some deviancy in your rank to improve. Like, you go on a win streak, you peak Masters 2. That was a win streak. There might have been a little bit of luck involved too.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean that you're all of a sudden a diamond like 2 player. Like, you're not that much worse. You just had a little bit of a boost. Maybe one division of boost, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's
Maybe
a
one
range.
division of boost. It's a range. Your rank fluctuates up and down. It's actually really, really hard to specifically pinpoint where you're at. We're inconsistent beings.
Yeah.
Right?
I'd say especially with
yeah.
with the new system, the five win system. I feel like I used to sit like I peaked 3.3 in Overwatch 1 on console, and then like I never left 3.3. I literally never once stepped out of it after I hit it. I didn't go down. I didn't go up. Maybe that's just like specifically me. I feel like it was easier though, like watching like per game. I feel like now it's like very like it flips a lot. Maybe that's a byproduct of what we were talking about initially, which was the people SR camping or whatever. That's a discussion. But yeah, I tend to find anyway that the scale of like, because literally right before I hit Masters 2 as well, I was like, what, Masters 3, and then I dropped all the way to Diamond 3, and then all in like consecutive rank up replacements went from Diamond 3 to Masters 2 again. So like there is
And then
obviously
here's the thing, right? It takes a bit of playing, right, as you're saying. But I don't think it's absurd to request that people play the game when it's a competitive game.
yeah.
It's like, if you can't be bothered to do that because you gotta play the game a little much and consistently and whatnot, it's like, then you don't care about the competitive nature of it.
Yeah.
And if you
So
don't
just
care,
go play quick play.
yeah, exactly. Like, if you don't care, it's okay not to care. Like, that's what I want to make very clear. It's okay not to care. It's okay to be a quick play Andy. It's okay to just play the game with friends every now and again and just have fun. That's all okay. But then you can't be loud and vocal about it, right?
Yeah.
Because you only get a right if you like are invested and that you put in minimal effort. And honestly, also, if you drop from, let's say, Masters to Plat and you can't get out of Plat, I'm sorry, you probably belong there. Right? So
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's something.
It's because people treasure their SR. It's really a psychological thing. This is more than it's not really a physical problem. It's a psychological problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem that people treasure their rank, like the rank defines them. Like, their rank is how good they are
as a person. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna tell you, a GM player who goes and plays on a diamond account is still a GM player, and you know this because you've been annoyed about those moves in your game before. So why is it that when you drop 2 ranks, you're like, so you care so much about it? Because if you play the game consistently and you play with a positive mindset and you play with the mindset of improving and you learn stuff and you try to implement that stuff, you cannot play the game and become worse. You do not become worse by playing the game. So if you lose 10 games in a row, you might be down a rank. But you're not down any skill set. That's the reality of it. And you know this is true just by the fact that some of you has been annoyed that higher ranked players is in your low lobbies on Smurfs. Because it's the exact same thing. It's a high player, they have the skill, but they're on a low account. That player isn't just magically, lucky and got GM. And you aren't magically unlucky and got plat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just I didn't actually finish my point. Like we went on a tangent.
Yeah, go on.
I was just gonna say it is actually possible for those people who are scared, who, like you said, treasure their SR. You've hit this new rank, you want to keep it. You're scared of losing it if there's a rank reset because you're trying to hold on to this new rank that you've got. Because of how many people there are SR camping and who are actually just not nearly good enough for the rank, and it does happen. It happens quite a bit. I would argue. It's not necessarily people who are SR camping, but I have definitely noticed more recently than I did in the earlier seasons of Overwatch 2 and of Overwatch 1. People who will have terrible games of just feeding in. Obviously as well, being able to see stats, it wasn't maybe as apparent in Overwatch 1. But I wonder if a full rank reset would actually mean that a lot of people end up going up. Because there'd be so many people moved down, and it does work in percentages, doesn't it? 5% of the player base is Masters, 10% is Diamond or whatever.
Don't really know. We don't really know that.
That's how I always assumed they split it. Because that's how it works in Siege.
We can assume that, right? But the only ever official rank distribution we ever got was in 2018. There's some numbers from 2018, so you can take some 6-year-old numbers, right?
Yeah, they've definitely changed since then.
But it is probably the matchmaking system is probably sort of grouped in a way like that, if nothing, at least sort of artificially. Surely, yeah.
So I'd argue there is also the possibility. I'm not a fan of it. I think the SR decay system is better if done properly, rather than having to constantly redo these massive rank resets. But it'll always have a negative connotation as well, so which is another reason to just not do it. But there is also the possibility that some people rank up because of this. I guess that kind of if you're in the GM area, you're probably gonna low GM, you probably rank up. And then the lower down you go, you might actually D-rank, because somebody who was GM 5 in season 4 or 3 is probably not going all the way down to plat or whatever. They have to go somewhere, and they're not going right to the bottom. So that some people probably will feel the side effects of that shift. But well, actually, I guess if they're swapping places, then there won't be any shift for the lower ranks. It'll just be the higher end that feel it. But you get what I'm saying, though. There is the possibility that some people actually end up getting lifted up because of that, because there's less people who are undeserving of their rank high up. So the higher up players will maybe get a little bit of a push up, because then they've got less people who just are camping their rank, holding their place for them, or denying them a place where they should be.
I, in conclusion, think that the only reason for anyone to fear this is if they don't play the game a whole lot, and they low-key know that they're not actually at the skill of what rank they are, and they're just farming those competitive points every season, and they know they shouldn't be getting those points because they haven't touched ranked in a while and they're just quick playing. And I don't think anyone, it's not in the interest of the average competitive climber, not competitive player, competitive climber, competitive activist, not just, competitive casualist. It is in the interest of the people that the system was designed for in the first place.
Yeah.
And it is in the interest for everyone that this happens. Maybe once a half a year, I don't know. Maybe we start with just once a year. Especially during periods of the game where a lot of people stop playing and lose some of their ability, and then come back with the game not thinking that you've lost any ability.
Yeah.
It's more of an issue than you'd imagine.
See, where I disagree with you though is that why have a full hold on, can I just ask, do you want like a full hard reset?
Yeah, everybody goes down to 0.
Yeah,
MMR.
okay.
You don't have anything. Like, you're placing an account for the first time once again.
Yeah. See, the thing is, I think that they should have. I think SR Decay does exactly what you need it to do.
Yeah, I mean,
I think,
SRDK could be in place.
and if they have that, then there's no need for this hard. Because, like I said, it's always going to have negative connotations. You're kind of bringing me around to it, I will be honest. But it's always going to have negative connotations, which will make people, people hear about it and it's like, yeah, but that game has like a rank reset every 6 months. It's like, it's really, really bad. Like, it's not fun.
But if you're the type of person who's afraid about your rank getting reset over the course of half a month, you're probably not playing the game a whole lot.
No, but we still want more players. Those people can roll around in the box.
No. The thing is like the players don't come from that. The players don't come from the competitive nature of the game. As much as we would like to think that as competitive players, the selling point of Overwatch is not the fact that it's an esport, and it's not the fact that it's competitive. It's a team-based shooter that is fun to play with friends, Motor, especially when you can lean back on the couch and just play some Xbox games with your pals. That's the selling point of the game. It's easy for everyone to go into. It has unique and fun interactions between all of the characters. That is a lot of content to be explored for someone touching the game for the first time. That's the appeal.
Yeah.
That is the appeal. Not the fact that there is a I don't touch grass kind of angle to this game.
There's that doesn't appeal to me. The like how much stuff there is in the game. I don't think I'd play this game had I found it now. I don't think I could have ever done it because I look at
the first time,
Valorant now and I'm like, I can't be bothered.
But think about the first time you played the game, right? The first time you played the game, and there was that one character, and you were like, "This is the coolest thing I've ever seen," and it's so well implemented. Like, I can freely move around, and my ability that does this thing, I can reliably grab people into a graviton surge. That is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
And it's actually, it's not it's fully 3D position, actual it happens live kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's just so fluid, it's so dynamic, right? The interactions are so the physics are so what do you call it? Just almost innovative in terms of FPS games, right? Like Junkrat for the first time.
Yeah.
I can bounce his grenades off of walls, and I can jump with the mine, and the trap. It actually keeps people. And it's just that's the thing about first time playing this game. That's what it is for a lot of people, and that excitement of learning interactions, learning different things about heroes and what they can do, and sort of once you know everything about the game, that magic is gone. But the period of discovery, when you were still discovering what everything did and was, that's the spark that a lot of people cling on to.
Yeah, I guess the point that you made there, which kind of made me think about that, that was thought provoking there. Obviously, all of that I fully agree with actually, but the thing, the fact that it's 3D and everything's so fluid and it looks so nice as well, and it is really immersive. My point was going to be, my point was going to be like with Val or with League of Legends is the other big one that I was thinking. It's like I'm just playing it and I'm just like I don't even know what's going on. Like I've never played this game before and I feel so lost in how much stuff is happening and it's not captivating me. It's just I just feel like I'm being pushed out because I don't understand what's happening and so I don't want to learn. But those games are maybe like they are a little bit more unforgiving in that sense, I would say, where like Valorant is immersive, but like one headshot and you're dead, and it's like you get thrown in the deep end. I would say in Valorant more than in Overwatch, where I feel like Overwatch it does feel more forgiving because not many people one shot headshot you, and you can get healing and stuff. So yeah, that is the magic, and that is a complete ramble from me. But I just like
Oh, it's true. It's true. Anyway, point was just like it's like we don't actually care about the people who will quit the game just because they can't camp a rank for 6 months,
Yeah.
and then yeah, like.
So SRDK would stop that though. It is what my point is.
No,
Listen.
because you still have your MMR, so I don't think SRDK fully fixes the problem. It's a step in the right direction.
MMRDK then.
Just do a hard, like honestly, the point where the game becomes really good is when we just accept a frequent hard reset. I used to be on the fence that that's a bad idea, but the more I've come back and
Yeah,
I've
because you don't play
philosophized about
anymore.
it,
You don't play the game.
I'll have you know that I just did my replacement today. 5-2 on
7
support,
games.
my friend. 5-2. Yeah. 7 games. I did 7 games today, my friend.
Well done.
And I was going to ring as well. And I rang the day before we scrimmed. So I've been scrimming consistently this week too. I do play the game. I'll have you know. Thank you very much, sir.
Can I just point out every day since we started playing on a team together, I get a new message. This game is killing my brain. that is every single day. It's like this game is so bad. It is awful. It's like these players are trash. It's like every day. Oh, Mick, it's okay, man. Chill out.
No, I'm good, man. I'm good. I've been climbing.
Yeah,
I've
we
been
all
climbing.
feel the pain.
I'm good. I am climbing. I am. What I will say is I'm not even peaking my current skill. My win rate is just far too high in low diamond right now. But we'll get it slowly. We'll get it slowly. Things I don't push myself to play the game more than I enjoy it, and I think that's a healthy philosophy for improving. So if I'm not feeling Overwatch, I'm not playing Overwatch.
I've started doing that. I've actually been able to start doing that, without this is gonna be a philosophical talk now. I was somebody who very much, and you remember how bad I was. I punished myself for not playing the game. I would really I'd think in my head not playing the game is the worst possible thing that I could ever do. I'm a bad human being for not playing the game and trying to grind and get better. And then because I'm forcing myself to play the game and I don't really have the energy for it, I'd go in and play not very well in D rank, and then I'd get even more upset with myself because I wasn't playing well. So I was like, now I need to game harder, and I'd try gaming harder with no effort, and I would play worse because I was getting so stressed out about not doing well and not playing and not grinding, and then it was spiraling all the way down, and it was terrible. It was really bad.
It's almost as if the Sigma male grind set doesn't actually work in reality. Who could have known that was a flawed philosophy?
It works to a point, I will say.
It works if you take what it's being preached as, strip away a lot of the not so human nature things in it, and then keep the human in mind, then it works. But if you ignore the human condition, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work long term. You can.
It doesn't work with you. It doesn't work if you ignore the human condition, though. But the thing is, the Sigma male grind set, as it's being preached, and this is getting almost political now. But the way the Sigma male grind set is being preached doesn't factor in the fact that we're people that have emotion, that needs sleep, that needs food intake, that has relations to other people, that has family matters at hand, that sometimes have relationship complications, sometimes have grievance over dead people. Like the Sigma male grind set tells you to basically take all of that and shove it up where the sun
Yeah.
doesn't shine, and it doesn't work. You're going to crash and burn so hard because you're
Yeah.
neglecting important things in your life.
Yeah.
Like
Like I said, it works to a point. Obviously, if all that's going on, there's no chance. You can thug it out
exactly.
for like a month. You can thug it out for a month. I experienced it. I thugged it out for a month. Guess what? I then took like a 2-month break from the game, dropped even more SR, and then had to like completely rework my mind to get back to where I am. Don't thug it out.
Oh, yeah. Wait, you are you back now? Okay, you cut out for a little bit there. I think that might have been an internet thing, though.
Probably an internet thing. I mean, obviously, I'm the one recording, so I didn't cut out.
It's all good. Actually, it was me that cut out. Because
What?
it was your internet. It was me that cut out because it was
Yeah.
your internet. For the
Yeah.
viewer, you didn't cut out. I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Okay,
kind of
guys.
funny.
Mix lagging. So I'll repeat for Mick what I just said. You can thug it out for a month. You can thug it out for about a month because that's about, well, from my experience, I thugged it out for about a month. Like I was just like I'm just gonna play. I'll just keep playing and then I'll get better and then I'll feel good about myself. And then I kept playing and I didn't get better. I actually got worse. Because that is one instance where you can get worse. Or at the very least, you can play worse because your own mind is just like betraying you on so many levels. I tried thugging it out and I thugged it out for a month and I was peaking for like a few weeks and then spiraled and crashed and burned. And then had to take a complete, well, not a complete step away, but a fairly big step away from the game before I was able to like actually come back. And now I'm back and I've had to fully rework my mindset and really change the way I think about not just Overwatch, everything, but in this instance, Overwatch.
It does depend on whatever other mental load is going on at the time. Like for you, it was a month. Let's say it's someone who just had, the dog died, the wife walked out, took the kids, kind of situation going on. Then maybe they don't even last a month, right? Like maybe we're talking a week because there's so much things, and that is my grasp. It is a narrowed, it's a boiled down version of my take on the Sigma male grind set, and I've met it a lot while coaching, especially younger guys who buy into this mindset. And I can tell you, every single one of these younger guys has had a crash and burn, a mental breakdown. Something happened where they just could not go any longer. I for obvious reason, can't really name any names, but I've coached a lot of guys. There are a lot of names, people that I've had this conversation about how that is not sustainable. You gotta, process emotion. You gotta maintain social relationships. You gotta focus on your own mental well-being. You gotta, sometimes life gets in the way.
Yeah.
You cannot just ignore everything that makes you a human being, As much as I understand, the philosophy is really appealing. I understand it, and I would say even when I was younger, I probably I liked it. I romanticized that idea a lot more when I was younger as well. But it's not reality. For 99% of us, it is not reality. There are some people that are built different, but
I was about to say that was going to be my point. Some people, they will just thug it out, and that's not everybody. I would say that is like the smallest percentage of people in the world.
I would also argue they don't thug it out.
No.
They just want to lead lives where not a whole lot of hardship is happening.
Yeah.
Like some people live lives where more hardship is happening. That is just the case. You can be born in Europe, in Denmark, like I am, and you can be probably just fine. Or you can be born in Africa and you can be starving, right? Like some people will face more hardship, right? You can be born in Ukraine into war. You can, so many things. So many things
caught me off guard. So bad.
No, I'm just saying, like what I'm saying is you can be born into more hardship or less hardship. Yeah. It's conditions. It's part of the human condition that is not part of your control. It's not something you can decide, really. The only way you could ensure that you never had any hardship, say if you're a psychopath and you don't care, right? Like that is if you straight up do not have any emotion and you don't have any sort of like social empathy or care, then you can say that you have no hardship and that you had the full on sort of like just choice in that.
The other angle is they have a dependency that they use to escape the hardship, which will also catch up with you eventually. Just letting you know.
Oh yeah. I mean, there are certain other things you can do, but then to be fair, that dependency is also kind of a hardship in of itself.
It
just
is a
doesn't
hardship.
reveal.
It just it'll mitigate things while you thug it out. It will not work though long term.
Nope, not sustainable.
No. This has become like a philosophy lesson.
Yeah,
I
true.
quite like it though. I quite like
Exactly. And if you and if you liked it, you should go and like our video right now and subscribe.
Yeah. Go
Leave
do
a
that and
comment.
Yeah, and go check out our Twitter as well. Go check out our Twitter. Go have a look at
You don't have to leave the website though. As long as you just like and subscribe, we'll be happy.
Just open.
It's just one click. It's just one click. It's just one click.
We're literally asking you. Well, okay, it's 2 clicks. Subscribe and like, and then.
You gotta minimize the video too. So it's like escape maybe, and then.
Okay, all right. So it's
two,
like
2 clicks, and then
escape, and then like, and then subscribe, and then turn on notifications. So that's like 4 clicks, and then click on comments, and then type up a comment. That's not clicking. That's keyboard work. So like 5, and then you got to remaximize the tab. So like 6 clicks, and some typing. So just go do that.
just do it.
Just do it.
All right.
All right, we'll give you a minute.
Go on then.
We're waiting. All right, nice. Thank you for doing it.
Well done.
Yeah, you've done a good job. Okay. By the way, Spilo's got a really good video about it. He said that it's actually more of a beta male mindset than a sigma male mindset, which I really appreciated. I just thought it was funny because if you are somebody who values like that sigma male ideology, is like being called a beta for having that like whole thing, like, because that is a big thing for people who wanna have that mindset. Is like being a beta is like an awful thing. And he speaks about it, and it's like the all or nothing mindset of like, I either complete all my goals and I get it all done and I thug it out and I'm just like a monster, like I'm just completely unstoppable, or I'm the worst human being in the world. It was like that mindset is the beta male mindset. And I really appreciate that. That video is really good. As always, we really suggest you go check out Spilo. Although
Also,
yeah.
no, yeah, go on. No, I was just gonna say like it's a sidestep. It's completely like not really about the whole sigma male thing, but the whole sort of like beta male and alpha male like philosophy deviates from the alpha male theory. The person who came up with the alpha male hypothesis has actually come out and debunked it as well. He came up with it, realized there wasn't actually enough supported like evidence for it, and he like actually the whole thing is like he didn't come up with alpha male theory, he debunked it. He debunked it.
So he did research into alpha male theory, and then he was like, oh, this is proof of like there's an alpha male, and then they realized afterwards it wasn't an alpha male, it was like a mother of a pack, like it was like the mother to like a pack of wolves or something. Like it wasn't a male at all, it was just the mum. So
yeah, it was really funny.
I find that quite interesting actually. I've heard that before.
It is so funny. Because I've had this talk with a few individuals. So certain individual you can reach through the emotional cause and just sort of like empathy. Other people you have to go a little bit deeper into the scientific root of things. And I had a guy in particular. I was like, I think you might want to read about the guy who quote unquote discovered alpha male.
Yeah.
theory,
Yeah,
and
that's
how it's actually been thoroughly debunked.
that is, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're an Overwatch podcast. We
This
also
ties
talk
into
philosophy.
people doing good at Overwatch, though. It does heavily tie into it.
Yeah, this one. I mean, look, I quite appreciate the seriousness of this podcast, and
It can be serious. It can also legitimately, in about maybe like an hour, it can be about skins. So
yes,
it can be both.
yeah.
It can be both.
It can
be
it can be
both.
about whether or not I can beat a black bear in a fight if I had a hunting knife. Who knows? Who knows? Well, we do know the answer to that. The answer is yes, but like, who knows what the next topic is going to be? It's flamingos. It's flamingos.
Yeah,
How many flamingos could I beat in a fight?
just sort of like. Can you
8?
just like tie a
Nah.
knot on their throat and that just kind of like that'll be it?
Yeah,
They
but
just
all
you
at
only,
once. I reckon they could
no, but
peck holes.
the thing is like if you get really comfortable just tying a regular knot, like you just grab them, tie a knot, it's not going to die, but you just wait a little, right, and
Their heads are
suffocate.
stronger than that. I could nail quite a few flamingos. I reckon I'd grab one by the head and I'd like
I
will it
don't
like a
know if
baseball.
I'd say nail. That puts a weird twist on it.
No, come on. It's just British phrasing.
I
It's just
know,
Brit-
I know.
I could have quite a few
know.
flamingos.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I see. I'm not going to assume that I can beat an animal because I understand that animals are superior in physical aspects a lot of the time. I don't know if flamingos happen to be really strong, but I will say I think my odds are perhaps better with a flamingo than with a bear.
I can outthink a bear.
It's, yeah, no, like I mean that is what humans do. We outthink people.
Yeah, which means
That is why we're
that,
top of the food chain.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah,
Random discussion over.
we're so alpha here. We
I'm
can beat
such a
flamingos.
beast. I could beat up a flamingo. I could beat up a flamingo. What could you do?
That's an out of context clip right there. Just play it with no context.
I could
That's
beat
the introduction to the point.
Okay. There was drum roll. I don't know if you can even hear that. There was a bit of a teaser in the trailer.
True.
For Cassidy.
We think.
Well, it was definitely Cassidy that was walking.
I mean, yeah, true. But
Um,
that doesn't necessarily mean it has to do and with like it has to be sentence make. It doesn't mean it actually like it doesn't have to be Cassidy. But we're fairly sure.
I mean, I guess it could be a teaser for maybe a new cinematic coming out. All right.
Exactly.
Okay, so
It
this
could be other
is
things, right?
possible rework. Is
Yes.
the topic for discussion.
That is,
Now,
to be fair, just me watching that and then sending the note to Motor, and
yeah,
I'm going, "This is about a rework."
yeah.
Because it's
Well,
right at the end of the video. It's in monochrome. It plays a little bit of Tumbleweed. We're on Route 66. Cassidy. Why is that there? And my first thought is just there is a very obvious conversation about how Cassidy is like so underperforming right now. It's not even funny as a
really?
hero.
Is he?
Yeah, he
So
is.
underperforming, and we have still not fixed the ability that has been plaguing the game for so long.
The thing about
Flashbang.
Cassidy is that his fall off is so ridiculous. Like his fall off now means that you have to play that mid range constantly, which he can't do because his only way to play like mid range to take such an egregious like off angle slash positioning to do your damage that you're constantly in the threat of being either just like run over or dove or like even outranged by better damage dealers, right?
Yeah.
And then the reason, like, I've like without going into like the old conversation again, but like just really quickly, the reason why Sojin could take egregious off angles and even flank angles is the fact that she has her shift ability to get away, given that anything tries to commit to you, so you can leverage that. Cassidy has roll. You go like 5 meters.
Yeah.
Like, it's laughable how
I
little.
will say the damage
like,
reduction is actually crazy. I did not realize how strong the damage reduction is on the roll.
I mean, it is crazy, but it doesn't really matter, though, does
No,
it?
no.
That's the thing.
So
You're
I
going
don't.
to take less damage while being point blank into like a ram, or like a Winston that just dives you and runs you over.
I want to talk rework ideas now. I've got some ideas. Well,
Yeah.
I've got I've got some ideas. I'll just tell them. So I don't really know the angle to grenade. The thing is, okay, we can't give him back the flashbang because, like we discussed last week, CC creep is starting to come in, and I think we are getting to the point of like if we start putting flashbang back in the mix, we might be at a level where it's gonna start being tough for tanks on that aspect of like.
To be fair, magnetic grenade is already a hard
Yeah,
so you can't.
yeah. I
So
mean, that was the other thing. That
I
was in
kind
the
of.
back of my mind. I was like, that the magnetic grenade. But yeah, that was my next point gonna be. So like the heat-seeking missile era of Cassidy, where you could throw it from like eons away and it'd chase you down and like kill you because of how much damage it did. That obviously wasn't good. So they had to remove that, and then they reworked it to being hindering, which is also a really unfun mechanic. Like, I think they have struggled so hard to figure out how to like rework this grenade, and I feel like that's the bane of his character right now. Is that there is something else, but the nade is a really big issue. I don't think having a nerfed version of the hinder is bad. I think it is way too strong on a hero that is, or maybe not strong, but definitely not fun to play against. And you don't want abilities, as you always say, first and foremost, we should be balancing around fun, not strong. So I think that needs a change. Maybe just make it a slow or something, or make it just take away movement abilities and not have like the slow as well. But my big suggestion, my thoughts on the topic are, why not give him extra rolls?
That is exactly what I was thinking.
Give him another roll.
Remove the amount of things that roll do. Because roll right now, it reloads your revolver, and it gives you like a 40% damage reduction as well, right, or something like that. I forget how much it is. It's a damage reduction.
Yeah.
And then it gives you like some sort of like movement, right?
Yeah.
I say just like remove the 40% damage reduction. Remove the reload, or maybe make it so that you don't reload a whole mag, but like instead each one of them will reload 3 bullets, like just 3 bullets, right?
Yeah.
So you still have some sort, but like not so, because the issue with giving them 2x6 reload is that you can then fan the hammer, roll, fan the hammer, roll, fan the hammer, high noon,
Yeah.
fan the hammer, roll, fan the hammer after a reload, right? It's like that we don't want to get back it. We had an era of that. Yeah, with like a much better damage than it actually does right now as well, I do believe, which was crazy to think about. But that's not the point of it. It's the point is to give him more movement, because he struggles because he has such a short range compared to other people of his role, like Sojourn and Ash. And then outside of having worse range than the two of them, he also has worse movement. Ash Coach Gun goes further. It can go vertical too. It also knocks back people, right?
Yeah.
Sojourn Slide, obviously the best out of all of them. It's such a fast and long-going movement ability with a lot of range of motion and verticality in terms of like taking high ground and whatnot. Cassidy, flat like 5 meters on the pavement. You're in the same spot. You didn't even get out of the Tracer's effective range. You didn't even get out of the Genji's effective range. Like, nothing happened. You did not move.
Yeah.
And then now your gun is reloaded. And then the Widow, the Ashe, the Sojourn, the Hanzo is just looking at you across the map. And it's like, well, you need to hit 10 headshots at this distance because your fall off is... So for me, the rework looks a little bit like this. 2 rolls, remove damage reduction, half reload, so you only get half a reload per roll. We increase the maximum range, so we decrease the fall off. Give him a longer fall off range, so that we can start competing a little bit with Widow and Ashe and Sojourn. And here's the thing: the reason we originally removed the fall off for Cassidy was that we had less people in that role. We had less people in that sort of like position as a long ranged sort of like quote unquote either spam or sniper heavy long range DPS hit scan as well. So back in the day, the philosophy of it was that it feels unfair that Cassidy can double dink a Widow across the map and then win without that high of a fire rate. When Widow can miss one shot, has to wait for a charge shot, and in that time frame, Cassidy can kill you at that range, right? That felt a bit not so fair. But now he's become an outdated character. He's being outperformed by every other like similar character. I don't think it's that bad of an idea to give him that back. Give him the ability to leverage that a little bit back. Like maybe not like as egregious as it was, but give him a little to begin with. Now, and here's the last thing I want changed. The last thing, and this is like legitimately just a take I saw from like a tank player a while ago who was just so defeated on a server I was in, like a Discord server. And he said,
by ranked.
Man defeated by rank. And he was like, at this point, just give him a frag grenade. Just give him a frag grenade. And I thought, you know what, that's not actually a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea, it's just not cool.
I know it's not cool, but here's the thing, right? It could be cool. The thing is, like, just give it, like, make it a grenade that can maybe the thing about the grenade is that it rolls on the ground. You know what I'm saying? So you have to, like, throw it and then anticipate the roll distance as well. It can, like, bounce off of, like...
Can you cook it?
Like what?
Can you cook it? Like in Siege?
Cook it?
In Siege, or in most like, shooters, you can pull the pin and then hold the grenade in your hand. So like,
so it goes on like very quickly when you release it, or what?
Yeah, so you could throw it and it could explode midair. So then you can remove the roll. So that does actually add a new dimension to his gameplay. Cooking nades, timing the cook of the nade, how far it's gonna go. Like, because A, it's a projectile, and then B, you've got to time like when is this gonna pop? Because
what happens if you don't release it?
You die. That's how it works in. That's how it works in those games. I think Overwatch is a little bit more forgiving.
I
150 damage, something like that.
I don't hate it, and the thing is like, you might go and say it's like that's not very like westerny, and I'm like, just make it like dynamite, like Ashe has, and then instead of like making it burn, just like make it do the explode damage. So what I'm thinking is like it will have some sort of radius, right? Probably a fairly like not aggressive radius, and then maybe you could like if you could cook it as well, it could become more reliable to like land it, so people will not just like run away from it.
Yeah.
So I think cooking it could be a good idea, and then that's it. That's it. That's all we need. I actually, when I saw it, I thought it makes so much sense. Just make it do some damage. Like, he is already struggling in that department right now as it is.
Have a really severe drop-off. Give it high damage, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Would probably be the angle. And
the thing about cooking it as well, and with having more mobility, is that you could maybe leverage, like, a closer angle.
Yeah.
You could cook it quite high to guarantee landing it. And then you could maybe even combine it with some sort of, like, you know, doing a little bit of damage, shooting, shoot, and then you could roll out, get away. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I would I don't think we fully get rid of the damage reduction because 2 rolls, unless we increase the distance of roll, even then, having 2 rolls is too little. Having 2 rolls
No,
that
but I mean,
just kind of
okay.
reloads the gun, I don't think it's enough, you know.
It's not about the reload. It's about the movement. We definitely don't. We don't give him 2 times 40% damage reduction for the duration. That's getting into
No,
silly amount.
20% or something like that. I don't think take it away. I think drop it. I don't know what it is now though. I think it's
No, just
5.
remove it. Just remove it. Movement is survivability.
Yeah.
The thing is like it's so tone deaf that they've given roll damage reduction because they looked at his sort of like they understand that it's a defensive kind of thing, right? Most of the time. But they're like, but he just ends up dying still though. And they haven't made the comparison between Soju and Slide and Cassidy roll and been like, oh yeah, it's because the slide goes 30 meters further than the other one. And
Yeah.
faster for that matter, and faster too. They've gone, oh, that's a bit odd. Maybe Cassidy is just more prone to dying. We'll give him 40% damage reduction. No! No!
Yeah. Okay,
No!
actually you do make a good point. You do make a good point. I would maybe this is where experimental would come in because then we can be like because I'm like really like I just feel as if he's going to pop like a balloon.
No, mobility is survivability, and mobility is pressure, right? You can use it as both.
Yeah.
You can use it as both. Well, in Cassidy's case, you can't really use it in that many ways, right?
I think it takes
Totally
away.
right. It doesn't move him. The issue with roll is that it doesn't move Cassidy.
And I think giving
Like
him
you're
a
not
massive
very
roll will look stupid, so we can't do that either.
Just make him like. Just the thing is, like you can make it a massive roll, like, but then he just rolls twice when you press the button once. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that
Yeah.
big a deal. You can make it look okay. Blizzard has a phenomenal animation and modeling department for Overwatch.
That's true.
They can make that work. They can make it look good. If there's one thing they can do, is make stuff look decent.
Yeah, that's true. That is really true.
They can't balance a game to save their life, but
I think honestly, after having this discussion, I think our ideas are actually really good about Cassidy. Sometimes we like have these discussions, and I'm like, I really don't know about what you're saying, and then like, I think on this one though, it's yeah, that's
no. The extra roll came as a surprise because I'd been thinking about opening with that and then leaning into the frag grenade idea.
the frag grenade. Like, I'm kind of on the fence for the frag grenade. It's cool.
I think it's a good idea. I think it's a fine idea.
It just doesn't seem like it's the issue that I have with it is it doesn't feel like it fits Overwatch.
I said it doesn't have to actually be a frag grenade. Make it be a dynamite stick that he lights with the Make it as like
That's a really good visual
cool,
as well.
as cool as you can, right? Like imagine this, right? He puts the fuse of the dynamite up to his revolver, shoots a bullet. The gunfire lights the dynamite. You can hold it as long as you want to. The fuse goes further down. So if you throw it with like a low fuse, it's going to go off closer to you. If you throw it with a full fuse, it goes further.
I'm feeling that. You know what? I'm really feeling that. And I'll tell you what.
Make it a red stick as well. You know, like a red stick of TNT.
Yeah, I'm really feeling that specifically because cooking nades isn't a visual thing that you get in like Rainbow and COD and stuff. Like you just have to time that. But
Overwatch is all about the visual. Like it's always telegraphed.
Yeah, exactly. So like visually seeing the dynamite stick cooking in your hand. I'm a really big fan of that actually.
What?
I wonder how quick the animation would have to be extremely quick because it is a fast-paced game, so you can't be like shoot like because obviously it's going to be like you want to get them into the one-shot area if you land this nade, so you can't be like shoot, hold on guys, let me pull out this stick of dynamite, shoot it, I'm going to hold it now. Do you know what I mean? It has to, like the animation has to be quick and.
I think it would have to do quite a lot of damage at the closest point, right? Because Cassidy body shot is 70 damage?
I think one
Yeah.
like 50, 150 wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah. So what I was going to say is like we're probably talking about this doing at least a headshot worth of damage, if not more,
Yeah.
while being an easier, more reliable thing to do. Because I think Cassidy headshot right now is 140, right?
I think 150.
Oh, is it 150? Is it 150? Because
No, I'm not saying that.
does a one-shot tracer. Wait, hang on. Cassidy
No,
Vicky. Let's real
it
quick. Let's
is
look it up real quick.
125. Should be somewhere around there, 125, because it's headshot melee to kill tracer. That's the breakpoint.
No. It's like it's way more. It's way more. It is 70. So it's 140.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So,
I was gonna say it is headshot melee, isn't it? I'm not forgetting. That's the thing, though.
We knew the breakpoint. We both knew.
I wanna like point out how bad the situation with Cassidy is, right? I wanna point out how bad it is. In Overwatch 2, this year that the game has been out, right? Because we're coming up on a year.
Past year.
I have coached thousands of players from all elos. I've never actually had a Cassidy mod. Never.
No, you're joking.
No, I haven't had it. I just realized that. I was just sat thinking here because I was like, why don't I know the breakpoints? I would usually know the breakpoints because I'm just sort of like in and out of like doing coaching, right?
Not to name drop Turtle.
No.
Huh.
Only no Turtle. I only coached him on Widow, Soch, Ash. Yeah, Bastion, Tracer as well at one point.
Oh, that's surprising. Yeah.
A little bit of Sombra for Sombra Tracer.
So,
but yeah, no.
Body shot. I know they're trying to. I know there's like the leaks that they're trying to get rid of one shots completely by upping everybody's HP to remove the breakpoints. So stupid. Not going to talk about it as you said. You don't want to talk about leaks.
I'll talk about it when there's a. I do have my opinions about it, but we'll talk about it, and I do agree it's stupid. But yeah,
body shot nade. If you're within 2.5 meters of this nade, I think give it high damage. I think it should be a proper skill shot though, with a severe fall off. Like the damage quickly falls off.
So we're thinking like 130 damage, and then.
Well, I'd have said 150 probably. Give it a little bit more.
150. So then a body shot plus a.
Cooked, yeah, plus within 2.5 meters.
It doesn't have to be cooked. It just have to be centered, right? So the thing about cooking is, it's like you can still do it at long.
Yeah. It
doesn't increase damage. It's just if you're cooking it, you don't have to go as close because it will explode closer to yourself, right?
Sorry, I'm a very visual person. I'm just imagining this happening on Route 66, where he's like directly in front of him. So I'm thinking of him cooking it. But yeah.
And that would be so cool. Could you imagine if they did exactly what we said? Like, could you? But if they did exactly what we just said, how freaked out would you be? How much would you be like, we live in a simulation?
I would actually pay so much money to promote that clip and send it to Blizzard and get it on their radar and be like, you guys should hire us. That's
I don't think they would care. I think they care about other skill sets that we may perhaps not have as well.
Yeah. we
do know how to sort of like or at least come up with some ideas that might actually do something, though, is what I'll say. I want to say we have the best takes always, but we at least have takes that would do something about situations rather than this very passive design they have currently. I think that was Cassidy.
That was Cassidy, though. And Ultimate, do you feel as if it's in a bad place? That's the other thing, I guess. It's so.
The thing is, I don't think every ultimate has to be good. That's my take. Is I don't think every ultimate has to be good.
If your neutral kit is really good, then I don't think your ultimate has to be insane.
The thing is like, at best, it can land like a solo kill on a vulnerable target. maybe it can be used as a zoning tool in team environments. I know in team environments it's not entirely uncommon to do like some Maywall, Lucio speed, high noon shenanigans. It
Yeah.
used to be when he was better. His neutral is too bad now for that.
Walling him up
There
into the
are
sky.
there are playmaking in it. Like the thing is, like at the highest level of brawl, high noon is basically used on an angle just to make everyone be like, okay, we can't play that angle. It's not guaranteed to get a kill. It's just guaranteed to make everybody bucker off, right? That's what it
Yeah.
does.
And then usually with
So
the amp speed, you can clear 2 corners with it.
yeah, or like you can clear a lot of space with it if you can keep him alive and whatnot, right? There are some angles to that. It's just neutral is just so bad right now. In ranked, maybe you get an assassination. Maybe you get a lucky kill. Maybe you get a little bit of zoning. I will say in ranked, people will probably just go on you because there's not as much peel. But at worst, it's a reload. Like I don't know what to say. At worst, it's a reload.
Giving him 2 roles actually maybe even opens up this potential though, that you can start getting more creative with the high noon, with less risk. Which means that maybe high noon would actually inadvertently become a little bit stronger because you can take more creative angles without the risk, or obviously there's still risk, but without as much of a threat of punishment. Because like, if you can
The issue is
go for
rarely
the
the
flank
angle,
noon.
though. The issue is rarely the angle, though, is what I will say. The issue is the fact that you can't move, really. Like, your movement gets reduced so much, and you have to peek in order for it to work.
Yeah, okay.
Like, the issue is the fact that, like, if they have, like, let's just say Soldier Sojourn, or Soldier Hanso, or Hanso Sojourn, or Ash, it's just, and a Kiriko, and then all of a sudden, like, the two or three of these people just look at you and press M1, you're
Yeah, it's
dead.
done.
Or
Done.
like you actually die. You actually die before you can charge it up fast enough, right? That's the issue. But as I said, it doesn't have to do that. Like it doesn't have to be, you know. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's Cassidy though, and hopefully, if it's not a rework, we're gonna get another really really cool cinematic, which I'm very much happy for. I love getting cinematics, so I'm excited though to find out. It's only for us now. It's only 6 days. For you guys, it's only 3.
I think it makes sense that he would be the next rework, though, right? Is there anything else to rework as such, other than Ball potentially?
Hog Ball.
I mean, Hog is not going to be reworked. They've done the rework and they've told themselves that was good enough. I do agree it wasn't good enough. We need to reconsider the rework. But so that's out of the question. Ball,
Yeah.
Cassidy, what else?
Ball, Cassidy, Farah is.
They've talked about that. This is correct. They've talked about that.
Farah.
Although I am like actually a little bit of the opinion that I don't really know if we need to rework her. She works within the niche that she is, and I think it's okay to have niche characters.
Genji.
But they're probably Genji. Nah. Balance change for Genji.
Yeah,
balance changes.
change.
Number changes. To be fair, his actual the way you play him and the way he works is fine.
I was about to say that's maybe more numbers.
As said, like the thing, like I heard someone talk about, which I really like. I guess we can really quickly talk about the Genji thing. The issue with Genji is that his blade is completely useless unless it's a damage blade. So unless you have a mercy pocket, a nano boost, or to some extent, if you're very skillful, a Zenyatta Discord orb on targets, your blade is very bad.
That one was creative.
I mean, it's not creative. It's just a good Genji player will be able to do that. It's not like creative at all. Like a good Genji player will say, "I'm blading."
I thought you meant like Zan like routinely changes who they're discording in accordance with who Genji wants to go on next. So it'd be like,
no, it's just like it'll just be like
changing. I was like, that's creative if you're doing that.
No. I mean, maybe you could do like a little bit of that. You're not gonna get all of it though.
At that point, just go Ana.
But what I'm saying is like if you have a Discord orb, it'll be the deal of like Zenyatta like discording Ana, and then you go for the Ana, right? Like that and that would be the opening pick, right? That'll be it, right? Now the issue is that if you do have Nano, specifically Nano Blade, it becomes a very strong ultimate.
Yeah.
Very strong. And the other issue is we can't just buff Blade's damage up to the point where it baseline just does the same as a damage Blade, because that would also be broken, because the Genji's neutral is actually pretty okay. And his blade
Yeah.
is just really poor. So the suggestion I saw a Genji player make, which I actually thought was brilliant, it's such a good idea, it's such an amazing idea, is that on a singular target, that target, every time you slash them with blade, you should add a stack that makes them take more damage from blade.
Oh
And
my
I
god.
don't mean like by a lot. It should be like maybe like 10 or 20. Because then what happens is that you don't get the situation where you like 5 slashes a Bastion or 5 slashes a Cassidy, and they have like a mercy pocket, or they're rolling, or they're in form with a mercy pocket, and they just never die. And it's like you just slash 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 slash, you know,
Yeah.
and they don't die. But also, once you have killed that target, once you've committed to that target and you have killed it by stacking the damage, when you then dash to the Ana isn't going to get obliterated, right?
Yeah.
So it only stacks per target. It doesn't stack on you. And that's it. That's it. It makes neutral blade not useless, and it doesn't make damage blade overpowered. Because the issue with increasing blade damage is that if you increase blade damage, you also increase nano blade damage, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
But it wouldn't change the breakpoint for a nano blade. It would still be the same dash slash, right? Dash slash.
I've just I completely agree. Everything that you're saying is like is really revolutionary. I'm about to up the standards even more though. The passive could be called Death by 1,000 Cuts, and that would
That
be
would be cool.
awesome. That would be awesome.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
That is so cold. Don't even, like nobody can even deny that would be cold.
That would be cold. And it would solve because Genji neutral is good. That like neutral blade is really bad. There are clips, you can just look them up, of neutral blade connecting
Yeah.
onto targets with like a slash and a dash and a like a slash, and then it's like it will literally go like this, like slash dash slash slash slash. Target is not dead.
Target is
Target
not
did
dead,
not die.
and you're in the back line with no dash.
Yeah, and it's like you could argue it's like, oh, but then you gotta go for the target that is pocketing. It's like that's a mercy or an Ana, or like no, if that's a mercy or a let's say Moira, they press the shift ability. You now can't move any further because you've used your dash, and it's like I feel like it's just a really simple. It's an elegant and simple solution that doesn't make him overpowered. It just makes the one thing he is incredibly bad at actually do something.
Yeah.
So
I think it's genius. I don't like, and credit to whoever came up with that, because I don't know, Mick. I don't know if you know.
it's my friend Arne.
No way, it was Anna.
It was Arne, yeah.
Credit to Anna. Anna is a genius. Yeah, that is like beyond clever. I don't know. That is one of those things that you like. You just hear it and it's like that is actual genius, and it's crazy that you just came up with that. Anyway,
stroke of genius. Yes. No, I think it deviated from the. I had a conversation with it. I mean, I said like I feel like we need to like increase baseline damage of blade, and then we need to like do it so that Genji exclusively receives less damage boost in blade. And he said that's so scuffed though. That is so scuffed because that is like an exception where it's like everyone else gets like 50% damage from nano, but Genji only gets like 20.
There's a cap at damage boost, isn't there?
There is a cap. I forget what the cap is.
50. 70.
No, wait. Actually, I'm not sure there is a cap.
There is because even if like, okay, I'm gonna go back in the day with the alt with the alt in here.
Introduction
If you
from
had
the
bongo, nano boost, bat window, mercy pocket shooting through a lamp, it wouldn't like all just stack up crazy high.
It would.
No way.
No, so okay, so
Two orbs would blow up a tank.
the thing is okay, no, but here's the thing, right? It does stack. I've looked it up. I remember how it works now. It does damage boost are stack in Overwatch, but the way it works is not the way you think it would work. So, for example, me being nano boosted and shooting a projectile through a bat window doesn't do 150% damage of the boost. It does 100% damage, and then it does 50% damage added to the damage, right? If that makes sense.
So you take the base damage. So like, let's just make it really simple, okay? For the people who don't understand, I don't understand. Let's make it really simple for the people who don't understand. If the projectile did 1 damage, no, 100 damage, 100 damage, sorry, 100 damage, and it gets the 100%, so that's 200 damage, and then it gets the additional 50%. It's the 50% of the original 100 on top, yeah? So it's 250 total. Yeah?
Yeah, so it's like...
that is how I thought it stacked. Because it's just adding... So instead of it being an additional percent... Because... It's maths, don't worry about it. It is certainly mathematics. But it's mathematics of all time. That is kind of how I assumed it worked. But yeah, well, what I was gonna say was if it caps out, then you could just give Genji like a damage boost.
No, but the thing is like what you might think is like this is the easiest way I can explain it, right? You might assume that if it's 100 plus a 50, then what you might assume would happen is you would do 100% of, let's say, 100 damage on a fire strike, right? That's 200, and then you take a 50% of 50% of that, which would be 250.
300.
But it whenever you go through them, they don't like, what is it called? It's not like multiplicative; it's additive.
Yeah, it's
anyway.
The damage boost is additive, so you're not getting 100% damage boost and then an additional 50% damage boost. You're getting 150%, which is different because if you get 100% damage boost on a 100 damage projectile, that's 200, and then if you were to get 50% of the boosted projectile, then that would be 300, as opposed to both boosts put together to make 150%, which is 250. I hope that makes sense to everybody. Just hearing it.
Yeah, it's additive and not multiplicative, essentially.
Yeah. Hope you get it. I hope you get it. It makes sense in my brain. So.
There's a Wikipedia page about it. You can just look it up if you are interested. Essentially, they do add, but they don't add as egregiously as you may think they do.
Yeah. Anyway, brilliant. I don't know why we're still discussing it. The Genji idea that we have is like actually pure gold, and I don't think you can necessarily make it better. So, that is possible reworks for other people. I don't know anybody else who could maybe do the rework, so we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
For the rework discussion. There was also, and this is how I'm going to phrase it because this is how I've phrased it in the list of things to discuss for me and Mick. Additional irrelevant stuff, gauntlet.
Yeah.
So we'll run through this quick because we've kind of already given our opinion on Hero Mastery. Hero Mastery is being made co-op by the looks of it.
Yeah.
There you go. Alright, that
I
was the
mean,
news.
at the very least, perhaps you can have some fun with your friends in there now instead of, losing brain cells on your own.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's kind of like, if you think about it, it's basically like free PvE. You all asked for it, right? It's free PvE. It's the free co-op missions,
Yeah.
guys. Go out and play it now.
Fun.
I don't know I don't understand why we're wasting man hours on that, but sure, it's the thing.
It is a thing of all time.
True.
It is certainly a thing of all time.
I think
That has
I'd rather
happened.
see if I can. I would probably just go and play some Cookie Clicker instead. It's honestly a better use of my time. But
That's a great game. That's a great game, to be fair.
it is. It is. I am playing it as we speak.
I'm trying to listen out for any mouse clicks. I can't hear them.
It's on my phone.
That is the irrelevant stuff.
You can't. You can't like. I mean, maybe you can hear actually
I
if I
can
go.
hear it every now and then. Yeah, there we go.
I put the
Yeah.
phone really close.
Okay, that's the additional irrelevant stuff. Gauntlets being added. Yippee for people who care about that. I'm very happy for you. Cosmetics. There's a new season. Actually, Mick, can you do me a favour and open up Overwatch and send me Shop of the Week, and we'll have a look at that in a second.
There's Shop of the Week. There's also all the leaked skins, I guess, or like not.
Yeah.
I mean, they were leaked, but now they're official kind of deal.
Yeah.
Which
They
we
look
could
nice.
also quickly talk about.
Yeah. Well, we'll kind of skim over it. There's other stuff as well, not just skins. But Moira got the new mythic. The big thing that I want to talk about with Moira getting the new mythic is that she probably is actually got quite high play rates in quick play, so that could very well be part of it, because then you're tapping into that demographic of people.
I mean, golden, low plat lobbies, and probably also silver. I can't speak of silver. Haven't seen much from there. They are ridiculed. Like
And bronze.
the standard gold support duo. And I think there's a lot of people that can testify to this in that elo
Moira
is
Mercy.
Mercy Moira. Yeah, it's Moira Mercy.
Yeah. So
So there probably is this is a little bit of catering to the
yeah,
to the herds, right?
maybe a marketing angle to that. In fairness, the one thing that I'm
Yeah.
thinking though is it possible that they're giving Moira a mythic skin, which means that they're going to be giving Moira a considerable buff in order to entice even more people into buying it? Because at the higher end, yeah, you may be not so bothered about a Moira mythic skin because you don't play her very much, because that's not what's strong. But then if Moira does become strong, it does become enticing to buy it a little bit more, because it's like, well, I'm going to be playing a lot of Moira now, so I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
I just wondered, do we
I,
think...
I don't think they're going to buff Moira. At least I'll put it this way: we shouldn't buff Moira. She is in a spot where she is, like, and the reason why we shouldn't buff Moira is that it would become so not fun for the lower elos, right? And we don't need Moira to be better at the higher elos. I feel like I don't feel like anyone at the higher elo would enjoy a character with a low skill expression to be strong.
Yeah.
So I don't think we should buff Moira. No, I don't think.
I'm not saying we should. I'm just saying I think there is the possibility that they want to farm a little bit more money, so they will do things that support farming more money.
Yeah.
I think there's certainly an angle to that. That's all I really have to say. The season is interesting. I didn't really get the theme. It was like a cosmic crisis or something.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure. It's like a what do you call it? Like an ancient sort of like mythic like kind of deal.
Yeah, it was like Cthulhu kind of what's his name? HP Lovecraft kind of like portal thing.
Yeah.
It was like, it seemed very HP Lovecraft kind of like vibe watching the
Yeah.
trailer. That's what I was thinking when I was watching that. So I think maybe a little bit of inspiration from there, which I think is pretty cool actually. How hard would a Cthulhu skin go? Thinking about it, that'd be
We
awesome.
we kind of already have one.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Sunyata.
yeah. Zen's got the cult skin. They should give Hog a Cthulhu skin and just like actually make him Cthulhu. Although
Yeah.
I don't think Cthulhu is fat. I think Cthulhu's like quite chiseled.
Probably, yeah. Okay. I have sent you the skins.
Yeah, you have sent
We
me the
can take a
skins.
talk about it.
Do you want to keep talking about just the I mean, like the well, I guess that's everything there is to say. All the other cosmetics look pretty cool. What I'll do is I'll get the trailer up and I'll loop that for you guys to watch, so you guys can have a nice trailer loop of seeing the skins over and over. So, the shop of the week. Are these old skins? Or have you...
I know the Bastion one is. I know that much because I own it.
Yeah, I was looking at it, I was like, that
I
must be
I
old.
own the whole thing. I own the whole thing. So that is an old one, and I did not buy this skin with credits. So this is a fairly old one. It has to be, or maybe you
Yeah.
could earn it at one point as well. It is the Dragonfire Bastion bundle.
Yeah. I think this whole set is actually like to go off what you say. It's thematic. It's all to do with the Lunar New Year, like the Chinese culture kind of vibe.
I do want to mention one thing, but we'll get there. We'll get
I
there.
was so scared you're going to say it's not Chinese and I'd just been racist. I was so scared you were about to say that it wasn't
Nope.
Chinese.
You are correct. It is Chinese. Don't worry about it.
So yeah. Oh, sorry, I've just closed OBS. I think they look really nice and like they have that what I always look for, which is, do they actually just look nice? Yes, they do. I think the Diva skin is one of the few skins where I look at the mech and the baby Diva and I'm like, these both look really cool. Genuinely, I very rarely think the mech looks cool because I always think it just looks too bulky. Like it doesn't look aesthetic because of how bulky it is. But I do think that they've done a good job. They've done a really, really good job here, and I think these are all deserving of legendary. Personally,
Yeah. Can I just mention? So one thing about the Swan skin, the Mystic Swan Mercy skin, right? So the skin had an issue with it when it came out.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I told you, and it was pulled from the shop. Now, a couple of months ago, like a month ago, we got the Hardlight skins. And the Hardlight skins also had an issue where you couldn't unequip them. And they pulled them from the shop, and it took them like a week for them to bring them back into the shop, or like nearly a week. The Mercy skin was pulled from the shop. It was back again within an hour. Within an hour. That is the conversion rate for Mercy Sims, by the way, there, people. That is how much people will get Mercy skins and be all in. They are making so much dough off of Mercy skin for them to care that much. The whole new weapon system skin, they didn't care about enough to do that with. But the Mercy skin, an hour.
The new weapon system skin. I actually saw one. I've literally, and this is not an exaggeration, never before until like 2 days ago had I ever seen a hard light weapon skin in game. And I played against the Ryan who was using it, and it was actually
I think
really
I
bad.
mentioned it. I think I mentioned it when we talked about it the first time, but in short, it's because the color scheme they went with doesn't. There's no skins on the characters that you can get them on that theme goes with.
Yeah.
So you're just going to have like a mismatch. It's such a very dumb oversight on Blizzard's part. It's just a silly oversight that Reaper, Mercy, and Reinhardt, none of them actually have like golden/blue skins. Like it's just such an oversight.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes they just don't think about things. It's just like it is literally just as simple as that, or maybe they do think about things and they don't care enough. But sometimes it does just seem like they didn't think about that. It was just an oversight. It is human error. It is human error as well. I don't want to be too harsh on the devs because they do provide a lot of really good things too. Speaking of, we forgot about something when we were talking about the new cosmetics. Jade weapons have been announced.
Jade weapons.
Is it going to be the same as golden guns where you have to use competitive points to buy them?
I don't know.
I mean, obviously you don't.
Yeah,
But
I'd hope so. I'd hope so. But let's be real here.
I don't want them to put it
That
behind a
probab-
paywall. I really don't want them to.
There probably will be some kind of monetization value, is all I'm going to say. It's probably going to be some sort of like I don't know. Like what here's my bet. Here's my bet, okay? It's probably going to be some sort of currency that you earn through hero prestige. And then
Yeah.
this currency can also be bought. Like that's probably what
Yeah.
it's going to be.
I
Like
was.
that's probably. There's no way we're not monetizing the Jade weapons. They are monetizing the Jade weapons.
The Jade weapons look really nice as well. The Jade weapons look really nice. I saw that and I was like, I'm in love. I
Mhm.
am in love. So
Yeah.
Jade weapons, really cool. It's a yes from me.
Oh, they look cool. I mean, I've long been an advocate for just like give us more like customization of like colors in general, and that's an extra customization of color. So I can't
Yeah.
complain.
I think the other thing that I was thinking is it's possible that they put it behind a challenge wall, so you have to do challenges for each hero to unlock their Jade weapon. But they can't
Nah,
monetize that.
they can't monetize it. I really feel like it's going to
They
be
can't.
monetized. I hope it won't. I hope it won't. But I really feel like it's going to get monetized.
How many people
Just
do you
in
think?
case that it, just in case it's not going to get monetized, I do have 6,000 competitive points saved up.
Yeah, that was what's been my point. How many people do you think have had all the golden guns for so long now that they've just got like a massive backlog of competitive points? And if the Jade weapons are something that you have to pay competitive points for, are just gonna like unlock loads. I bet a lot of the pros are like
You can't
backlogged heavy.
you can't backlog competitive points though. It caps out at 6k.
Oh, what?
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it caps out at 6k.
That's so stupid.
I think
Why
it
would they
even
do that?
I think it even says in game.
It's so they can
Yeah.
it's so they can make competitive. They knew that they're going to do this in future, so they're like, we'll make people be able to pay for competitive points when we bring out
It's
new
been locked.
weapon types.
It's been capped like way back though. Like way back.
Yeah, they just knew.
I just
They
just
had
knew
it. It was like 2016, and they're like, all right, in 2024, we're going to bring out Jade weapons. Like their roadmap is like extensive.
6 years earlier.
8.
8 years. 8 years
Yeah.
earlier. Yeah, forgive me.
I
8 years. Time flies by. Time flies by. Okay, man. Time goes quick.
I don't forgive you.
That's okay. I can live with that.
I think that's everything though. Is it? Or did you?
What about the like the skins they just showed? There's one in particular for Reinhardt. If you noticed.
They what? That they just showed?
Yeah, they showed it. They showed it in the
Trailer.
In the trailer. I'll copy an image of it, and you can just tell me what you think.
Yeah, get me an image.
We don't know what the name is, but what all I'll say is it's the pink recolor of a Reinhardt skin.
That's so disgusting.
I think it's dope. I love it. It is a recolor, to be fair. It's a recolor of the what is that skin called? It's I'll tell you guys real quick. I'll bring it up. I'll do it justice, and I'll say what it is a recolor of. But I do like it, though. Is what I'll say. Um.
There was the Kiri skin looks really nice. To be fair, the Kiri skin that they flashed looked really nice. I don't know. I think I'm honestly I'm gonna be completely for real with you right now. I don't want to talk about specific skins too much because that is gonna be like 20 minutes of tedious editing to do afterwards, and I'm not really looking forward to having to do that.
It's a recolor of
Don't you dare say a name. If you guys want to know what skin it's a recolor of, you guys can go on Overwatch and look at it. Okay, tell them.
But you don't have to put it in. But it is a
don't have
recolor
to.
of the Steelheart skin. So that is all it'll be. You don't have to. You just put the one on. I quite like it. I think it's good. I think it is.
I'm replaying the same footage over and over for you guys. You're gonna just get to watch it like 20
It
times.
is. And that's fine. That's okay. It is in the it is in that teaser video.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just gonna replay the teaser the skins portion of the teaser video for everybody. I hope you're enjoying it. You've been watching it for like 10 minutes now.
Okay. I mean,
I think that's everything. We got one more thing though, and that is, as always, hardest coper of the week. So let me get it up real quick. I literally just pinned it in our chat. Okay. And this one comes from I think it's just r/Overwatch. Junkrat. Pure luck and no skill? ? So, I have had an argument with somebody the other day that said Junkrat is pure luck and no skill at all. They also said that Junkrat is the easiest hero to hit GM1 with on DPS category, and then when I asked why doesn't anyone play Junkrat in top 500, they said because he is boring. I just need other people's opinion on this. Is it really true? For context, I am Masters/GM Junkrat OTP, and while I do feel that he involves luck, he also takes skill to hit air shots and consistent one-shot combos on 15 plus meters. Forgot to note that they said that there is no point in air shots on Junkrat. So,
okay.
I'll start it off. Every hero is skill once you get to like Diamond. What would you say about Diamond? I'd say around about Diamond is when every hero does take brain power. No matter how free low they are, you do still have to think about the game to some extent, and you can't just AFK brain. Yes, you can spam chokes and get lucky kills with Junkrat. That is part of his gameplay. Same with Hanzo, which is why people call him an RNG hero, because sometimes it is just you're spamming a choke, and because you're getting one shots, because you can get one shots, you know, some people don't always look for them, and that is RNG. Well, not RNG.
The thing is, at the highest level, you rarely find Junkrats just spamming.
No.
At the highest level, it is a deliberate sort of like you're actually aiming your nades kind of playstyle. And also at the highest level, it's about flanking. It's about having a mind to engage, having the aim to land the direct primary fire, and then the secondary concussion mine to assassinate targets, right?
Yeah.
Which takes setup, it takes thought process. The best Junkrats will go for like a concussion mine onto like a Pharah, a primary fire, and a right click and take out a Pharah, and will have practiced being able to do that at the very highest level. Junkrat isn't played a whole lot because he obviously gets outranged by a lot of things, outdistanced by a lot of things. Like his effective range is not the best. like Pharmacy and Echo Mercy will also just make his life very difficult. Spamming tank is not nearly as viable as it used to be. Riptire is an ultimate that can get a lot of value, but also can get shut down. It's a high risk, high reward kind of ultimate, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And I would say, to be honest, his playstyle is maybe one of the more mechanically intensive playstyles, which is what baffles me. You couldn't have picked like, obviously, you know, like Widowmaker is also up there. Like you have to land consistent dinks, but like you watch these high level Junkrats, and it's like the ability that you have to have, because it'll be like a conch mine into the sky, land a direct while falling. So you got to predict the projectile movement of your weapon, including the fall. And then you've got to predict the conch mine trajectory to be able to land that and get the one-shot kill and stuff. I think Junkrat is a really, like I said, I think in the lower elos you do just get people who just spam chokes, and that's where the stigma comes from. But I don't think that Junkrat is a low skill hero. I think he's quite mechanically intensive. And you have to be clever with your pathing, because as you said, he's more like an assassination in the back line kind of hero. But he's not like Tracer, where they can assassinate and like they're gone. They're with the wind, because like so much mobility. He's got 2 chances, and part of his assassination ability is using one of his
also his
chances of
movement.
getting up. Yeah, that's also his movement.
Yeah,
to
so
get up. Sorry.
it is a very hard cope. Yeah, it is a very hard cope. The reality of it is that if he was no skill and was very strong, he would be used a lot more in top 500. Like that is the reality of it. If the thing is like, if he was no skill, right, and he was so oppressively overpowered, he would be meta.
Yeah.
But he's not meta. He is countered quite easily, or at least, as we like to call it here, counter playstyled quite easily. There's
Yeah.
the odd, proud Junkrat top 500, even pro player. They do
Yeah.
exist. But to say that he is a no skill hero and that he is just egregiously overpowered, and it sounds a lot like your friend in this take. It sounds a lot like your friend is trying to devalue the fact that you're GM Junkrat player.
Yeah. They're trying to make you feel bad. That's
Yeah.
it sounds quite harsh.
That is
really.
that. It is. You have a terrible friend, and your friend is a brain lad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's what that is.
And your friend sounds quite upset that maybe they're not reaching where you're reaching. To me anyway, that sounds like a little bit of spite, being like, your hero's easy, that's why you've got where you are.
Perhaps they just int into Junkrats wherever they are. Perhaps they just int into Junkrats and they die to it and they cope about it.
Yeah, possibly. It's no matter what though, I will always say this. If you are top 500 on any hero, you have a skill. There's no doubt about that. There is skill to that. If you're GM on a hero, then you're a skilled player at that hero at the very least. You know, it takes skill for every single hero to reach top 500, because even if it's a no skill hero and everybody's playing it, well, you still have to be the most skilled of all the players in the world. You still have to be in the top 500 most skilled players at that hero to be in top 500. So it's impressive no matter what you say. And only 1% of the game, assuming that that's how it's done, only 1% of the game can be in GM, which means that you have to be in the top 1% most skilled person at that hero to be there. So yeah, I don't know. I don't agree
The thing
with
is,
this friend.
it was very overpowered and very, like, the thing is, we have time and time again shown that people don't actually care if it's a boring hero. Like, the thing is as much as you like to think that people have that kind of dignity, it's not how it works. If it's a no skill hero that is incredibly overpowered, people will just play him or her.
As I did with Morga.
Point in case Morga, there's a lot of people that played a lot of Morga. I don't think a lot of people actually found him enjoyable, There was a lot of people abusing Morga because he was overpowered.
Yeah.
And not particularly a high skill expression either. Sit back and shoot tank, right? So that is reality.
Hey, I had a lot of skill. It took me a lot of skill to get him to Masters 3.
I mean, not compared to other tanks that you had been trying to do it with previously.
Yeah.
It went pretty quickly. You kind of just went there.
Yeah, I just went there. I just got there. And then everybody said that I was paying to win. Is what it is. Sucks to suck, I guess. Sucks to suck.
Oh.
But yeah, I think
So
that is...
it's not. I want to be very clear. It's not pay to win. In order for you to reach the tier in which you unlock the hero, within the 2 weeks of them releasing that hero in competitive, you have to play so little every day. It's laughable. If you're not at that point, you're not at the point where it matters, because you're not playing the game to that level anyway.
Yeah.
That you need to leverage that kind of advantage, so to speak.
People
So
were
don't cry
like,
about it.
people were complaining, and it's like, it's just so pay to win though, and it's like, brother, I'm tier 65 on the battle pass right now. It was like I was literally tier 65 on like it's at one point, and I was like, I'm tier 65. I get that I get like the XP boost for having the battle pass, but you know, you could easily be tier 45 by now if you played the game. So like, you can't cry at this stage. It's like we're 2.5 weeks in now.
Yeah, it's like it's like the only case where it matters if something is like skewed a little bit is if you're a player that plays a lot, and if you're a player that is invested, and if you are invested, you'd be there anyway.
Yeah.
If you aren't playing a lot, then you aren't putting time in to improve yourself, and then you can't be mad at the game for because you haven't improved yourself, right? You didn't care, so it's like. So no, yeah.
There's a lot of copers in the community. That's okay though. We're here to call them out one at a time. If you guys have any hardest copers of the week, tag us in on Twitter. Let us know, and you know, we might feature them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a good idea. The best way to never cope is to admit that you don't care, and then just take things for what they are. That is the best way to never cope.
Or you can care, but you can just say, well, that person is just better than me. You can just
True.
accept
There are two
reality.
ways. There are two ways, to be fair. There are two ways.
Anyway.
But one of the best ways is just to accept the fact that you don't care, and it's okay.
You can only do that one if you don't care, though.
True.
Anyway. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and go like and subscribe and comment. It's 6 clicks. It's 6 clicks.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it right now.
Right now.
Do it.
Come on.
Do it right now.
Do it.
Do it right now. The dog gets it.
Do it. And make sure you got notifications on, because we'll be back here next week and we'll be seeing you.
Do it.
Do it. Goodbye.